Welcome to the culture. Cannabis, sports, music, fashion, art, and politics through the lens of Viola Worldwide.
Man, even though everything that's going on with politics, at least we're diversifying the podcast.
I've been at the cookout for a long time, but, I tend to wait for everybody to get, 2 or 3 helpings before I even bother.
You showed up to the podcast 4 hours late. Your check should be 4 weeks late.
Oh, yeah, we definitely finding people on this podcast, too. Y'all late, y'all gonna pay.
St. Louis, big St. Louis. Big St. Louis. Big St. Louis. We got the one and only first female African-American Congresswoman of the 1st Congressional District of Missouri, Cori Bush, people. What's up, Cori? One time for Cori Bush. Man.
Yeah, I'm here.
Man, thanks for pulling up on us, Cori.
Yeah.
We had talked offline, and I said, we weren't really going to talk about, too much of politics. We was going to kind of talk about, what you've been up to post Congresswoman,
Yeah.
but still in the fight.
That's right.
'Cause I know that's your thing. You want to fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's what
We.
yeah, so that's what we doing. That's what we doing, 2026. First off, what part of the city what part of the city were you born and raised in, or where are you from?
So my story started out on the horseshoe. On Northside.
Yeah, track, baby.
Yeah. And then we moved around the west side a little bit, and then we ended up actually I grew up in the county. I grew up in Northwood, Normandy. And so I grew up in that area, but all of my friends lived in the city. So yeah, so I spent
This one's been a theme through the episode so far. It's been west side, north side, North County. But what's crazy is I feel like we might have crossed paths before. Let me get some landmarks around. I grew up in Pine Line.
Okay, yeah.
So let me hit a few landmarks. Maybe we bumped into each other at Pine Line Mark on Stratford and Jenny Station Road, man.
Maybe a little.
Know what it's at?
Yeah, I know exactly where that's at.
Maybe
You to get there.
maybe C&K barbecue, maybe.
C&K for sure.
Maybe I know North Oaks Bowling Alley.
Definitely North Oaks Bowling.
For sure. Okay, then yeah, you was in there. All right, you a real one. Definitely from Northwoods.
Yeah.
So your family dynamic, like I know that your dad was the mayor of Northwood.
Right.
So I'm almost sure that's where you get your political aspirations from. Now he's an older person
He's an older person.
in Northwoods. So what was your home structure? Was it a mother, father, siblings?
Yes, my dad, my mom. My mom was a computer analyst. And I have an older brother and a younger sister, older. So yeah, and I'm the, being that middle child, but I was the middle child and also the one that was kind of like, I think I was the mother, I was the older sibling, even though I wasn't the older sibling.
Like I run the house site.
Sure. I didn't try to, but I just kind of fell into that. But my dad, he's in the politics for my whole life. Like I was 10 years old when my dad first started running for office.
Yeah, my mom, she was a mayor of Pine Line, damn piece because she was trying to do right.
See?
She was an older person, and my dad was an older person. So, I been in Pine Line fight for real hard for my you know what I'm saying? I got a 501(c) in Pine Line that I work really hard with, and I do a lot of stuff with Barack Obama School.
Yeah, Barack Obama School, shout out.
Yeah, so, so yeah, that's dope, man. We got similar paths in life. So you have these 2 foundational pillars in the home, right? So you're a nurse. You're the shift lead nurse too. It sounds like. You know what's funny about that? She really is. Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm getting to. So you have these 2 foundational pillars of passion that you share with your dad, in that you watch with admiration. But it sounds like initially you were pulled more to, right? So you went nursing, and then your nursing path made you most effective within Ferguson, and then that's kind of where it all came together, where you were like, okay, seeing this on the ground, seeing that I can help person to person, I need to do this on a large, and then what you like channeled that a little bit, right? And then
Yeah. So both of my grandmothers, my mother's side and my dad's side were in nursing. So so I'm seeing them always in the white hat, white dress, white socks, white shoes. But I never saw them working. I only saw them in their outfits. I happened to work. So it wasn't until like my dad, he wouldn't let you couldn't just hang out during the summer months. You had to do something, and so he would make us volunteer until we were old enough to actually get a job during the summer. And I went, it's this hospital that used to be on Natural Bridge over near Normandy High School. And my dad made me, I was the candy striper there. And that's when I saw my very first black nurse.
wow.
And
Went to Normandy.
you went to Normandy? Yeah.
Graduated in '93. It was a hospital.
Normandy Middle School, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. Didn't you go to like 10 high schools? You started at Normandy and ended at Norham. Did you go to like 10 in between? Watch out, bro. Went to North. Had to go to Vashon. Alarm sent me to the D side. So, thought that was going to be better. So I ended up at Parkway West. And then I ended up back at North. So I did a little service real quick, get my mind right before I got kicked out the house. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that was. That's seasoning. Yeah. You're going to go to these different schools and let you know that you better calm down or you're going to be down there at Shine. And I don't think that's where you want to be, sir.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, that's where that background kind of came from. And I swore I would never, I told my dad, I'll never be in politics like you.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Like, I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I went the road of becoming a nurse and a minister and then pastoring and all of that. And
That's right. You like built an entire parish, correct? Like,
well, it was still small by the time I closed it. But yeah, like, I'm up there.
where was it?
So we were in the hotel.
Oh,
We were in the hotel over by the airport. Yeah. We started off in my home.
Oh, wow.
And then we went to the airport for a while. We found a place, went to sign. I'll never forget. We went to sign the dotted line to rent a building, rent a church. And then when I got there, the last day to sign the paperwork, the landlord was like, you know what? We went up on the rent and we went up on the utilities. So it was like almost double. So we ended up, back in my, we ended up a couple other places. So, but yeah, it's
Not a single thing about that sounds little to me, so especially whenever you're spreading the word. So, yeah, you married?
yeah.
How many kids do you got?
We have 4.
Okay.
We have 4 kids, and then a grandchild.
Oh, shout out to the babies and the grandbabies. So you're a grandmother. I don't think people know that. You're a grandma. And she out here fighting for y'all like this, and she a grandmother. Man, y'all better cool out, man. We talked offline, and, we talk about, we weren't really going to talk a whole lot about politics, but what does Cori Bush like to do for fun? You grew up near Skate King, so I'm assuming you might like roll.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? And that's something that I keep saying I'm going to get back to and at Skate King, because, of course, that's where we went because it was close. Of course, we did things, too, back in the day, but, in Aloha. But yeah, I used to really love to skate.
While you fight, have some fun.
Some fun.
You know what I'm saying? Because mental health is good.
It's
You gotta have good mental health. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to enjoy it and fight.
That's right.
So what I think you should do, I think you should have a fundraiser at Skate King and have a roller rink park.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's the thought. That's my thought.
And I feel like,
Man.
get the people out, have some fun, and raise money for your campaign at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's the plan. But I also I love to shop, and I don't even mean like expensive. Like I love going to like antique shops.
Oh, you be fly, sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
No, straight up. You was on Bowman, what's his name?
Oh yeah, we did the Teo show. The
Teo show.
Man, yeah, but
leather pants.
Oh yeah.
All right, let me pitch then. All right.
Okay,
So women's empowerment brunch and shop. So it's the sip and shop for brunch, right? It's at Skate King. It's called Skate Queens.
You pitched all right.
No, the location for vendors are going to attract the most ratchet clothing brands
Totally.
you can find because it's going to be a skate camp.
Without
You
question.
should do the brunch and vendors. It's going to be like an athlete. Like, it's going to be like a fashion. You really young in there. Yeah, that ain't her swag. Her vendors won't be in a skate camp. But we definitely can have a fundraiser there for sure. And we'll figure out the brunch and brunch for the ladies somewhere fly.
Or maybe we can, see how we.
I appreciate him taking it seriously. So that, taking all the fun out of it too is, God defeats the purpose, man.
The owner of Skate King is family.
Yeah.
He's the
Dog.
Yeah.
It's the Foggy.
And it's the Foggy, his fam. And so I love to do something with him and then see what we can bring. Like, see what we can do with that. That'd be great.
No, it's going to be fun.
That's
for
great.
sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Music. Like when you ride
Okay.
to a place just like, I don't know how you got here today, but when you getting ready to pull up at the house in DC on your way.
Yeah.
What's that like? Is it a more? Oh well, let's go. What's your artist going? And then what's your after the day is over in the house and you going back to the house?
Yeah.
What is that? What are those artists like?
So let me say this. It depends on what's happening.
Right.
Because
Okay.
some days it's gospel. Sometimes it's something like that. Well, all I do is win. Sometimes it's like there are times when like I have to go back to like Bone or something. Like it's
Like Bone Thugs, okay, Midwest.
say Bone. So it just depends. But also, like I said, my gospel is something that sometimes I need that to like remind me of who I am.
Your gospel artist.
Yeah.
Your favorite gospel artist.
Favorite gospel artist hands down was Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton. But
Shout out to Fred Hampton.
yeah, absolutely. Shout out. But Israel Houghton, Todd Tribbett, Corin Hawthorne are just so many.
Yeah.
But I think about, but I'm also like old school R&B and hip hop, and like that's my thing.
Yeah.
So, sometimes I'll put on something that people be like, it is this like, one song I think does not get enough respect
What?
from when we was kids.
What?
My Radio by LL Cool J.
That's fire.
I just don't feel like it gets enough respect. So like songs like that, like that's what I'm putting on when I'm trying to get, that or Tupac,
Yeah, pop.
Lil' Kim, like back in the day.
Right. Let me ask you this, okay? As this pertains to St. Louis, so this is kind of a jumble, but it's around music. So first, you gotta pick one. Just I don't need any context. Okay, some of these you just have to. Doesn't matter. You can go back and tell us why it's both layered, right? Magic 108, Magic 105, 95.5, Hot 104.1.
Oh, station that you listen to.
Yeah. Oh, now?
No.
Back in the day.
What was your? Yeah, because that's the progression. It was 108, then 10.
I'm
Yeah.
to say
100.3 to beat. It was Matter 108, then Matter 105. Then we had 100.3 to beat and 95.5, 104.1 now, 104.9 for a minute.
God damn, bro.
So
that's a lot.
But there's areas he progresses to, you know what I mean? And I have a special feeling about certain ones, So
I'm gonna have to say I gotta pick two. I gotta pick 108, AIPAC Magic 108, and then 95.5 because of those two different parts of my life.
yeah, and when 95.5 came in, they were absolutely the best. They were better. They were like we wanted the beat to be better, sounded cooler.
Right.
Yeah, 95.5 was to taste better.
And one of
Like better getting Coke.
yeah, exactly. But
Every station was roll call.
That was all of the good.
I don't know. Just be specific. What station was roll call?
That was Magic 105, wasn't it?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I don't remember.
Yeah, just they had BIBI check-in.
Okay, all right. BIBI check.
BIBI check-in was Magic 105. Breakfast Club was 108 originally. And then 108 had whoever that national deep voice guy was. At the
Quiet Storm.
yeah, right. Did the way he can. Seminar. Let me tell you why I know these guys are so I'm great. I went to Flint Park in U City, and my best friends grew up in elementary school. Listened to Mystical, Spice One, Twisted, Do or Die. Okay, but they listened to it on the actual tapes that had the cuss words.
Oh,
right?
well, yeah.
And so they would record these mixtapes for me, but most of the time what I did is I would be in my room playing with my action figures or whatever it was you do it in elementary school with the boombox right next to me with 2 tapes, and then just try to time out how to record. So I would have a whole tape, and it would be like almost would be 2/3 of the SWV song, and then 2/3 of like, it's like I could never get it right, on the but I remember certain commercials now I have nostalgia connections to because of those tapes.
Oh, wow.
What
Just that?
what's up with the food? What's your favorite restaurant? I know you like Chinese food for sure. Your favorite Chinese.
My favorite Chinese food is I don't, well, I just don't know. I gotta see. I'm gonna always go back to Modok's.
All right, to tell us those fire the cook. Okay, that's
But I mean, it was
it's still good.
but it's like 3 or 4. It's a couple more down there.
No, we don't go with that. We're gonna go with North.
Yeah,
That's fine.
But my favorite food though is ribs.
Ooh, where you can get some good ribs? Only from your house, right?
Not when I ribs. I eat reds. I haven't had reds in a while though.
Okay.
But yeah, back in the day, CK.
What were you doing whenever the Rams were the greatest show on turf?
So let me tell you. I would go.
That was Ellie and the Rat.
Yeah, and I forgot to give a shout out because oftentimes I have to listen to Nelly and St. Lunatics when I'm doing stuff like that.
Nelly and Tick fans that.
I have.
Kiwan, Murph, Ali. Slow down.
Yeah, much love.
City Spud. Much love, man.
Much love.
Lunatic, y'all.
And I appreciate that support too. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, I would get me. I didn't have to have anybody else around. Like I could be by myself. I would go right up. What's that? Calico's. I would go to Calico. You're in the loop. Get 2 orders of wings because they have the best wings. I would go get 2 orders of wings after church. Come home and sit in front of that TV, and I would literally sit on the floor and watch the game. Greatest show on turf. So I'm still sore about the fact that the Rams are gone.
And we can't get the bread. What's up with it? Where the bread at? Spend that money, man. Stop playing, man. Spend the money. We need it in the city. So Cori, so St. Louis, for you, what is the biggest thing that you want to see change in our city? The biggest thing, the main thing that just grind your gear.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? For me, it's a homelessness. I'm off that. That homeless shit is not it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These are people. We gotta have, for me, Larry Rice, that was a blessing. And whatever happened with it, it happened with it, but we need centers like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't really have, a downtown, that homeless just, I don't know. Homelessness is not it. And I know, it's kind of triggering for you because you were homeless at a point in your life. But for me, homelessness is not it.
Right. People deserve permanent housing.
Yeah.
Regardless of your background, your financial status, people deserve to have a roof over their head.
Yeah.
They deserve to have, all of their utilities. They deserve to have clean, water and clean air.
Yeah.
They deserve to have food.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be, this country shouldn't be snatching back people's SNAP benefits.
Right. No, that's crazy. No food.
No, healthcare, all of that. So for me, St. Louis deserves first of all, our basic rights. We deserve our basic rights, but we deserve our needs to be met. Basic needs being met. St. Louis has to thrive. And the only way we thrive is when every single person has the ability to do so.
Right.
So like you said, if we have a huge houselessness problem, how?
So for you, it's not one thing.
It's not one thing.
Right.
Because
you can't land on one thing.
I can't land on one because.
I got you.
Yeah, because.
I mean, it's a lot for me too.
Yeah.
But that homelessness, that's just something that I can't even. Homelessness is just you driving down the street.
Yeah.
And you see the people. That's different than we need jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't really. identify who not working and who not, you know what I'm saying? But you know it's homeless people out here.
Right.
Like that is tough to me. You know what I'm saying? And I know for you being a politician, it's a lot of things that, I mean, even being from St. Louis.
Yeah, well,
And being able to identify, I know that's,
right.
you know.
It's interconnected because when I was living out of a car, you know, I was also hungry.
Yeah.
You know, and I was also trying to figure out how to make sure my kids had food. How are we gonna, like, it was just, there was just so many issues that like were compiled on top of us being unhoused. And then once we were able to figure out how to get some housing, there were all of these other things. So like we moved into a hotel for a few months just to try to so I could get some money to try to move into a home. But then, you know, the money for, you know, the application, and then the, you know, all of that stuff, all of the fees, first and last, security, all of that stuff, for then the credits, then getting the, you know, your utilities turned on, all of that stuff, you know, it's just so much. And so that's why, and then people just having like a job that pays a good wage, like a living wage, you know, when I think about even down to, the fact that women don't make the same amount as men doing the same work. You know, when I think about, at one point I added up how much I was missing. Like my counterparts doing my white male counterparts doing the exact same work I was doing. Yeah. $20,000 a year. So if it's $20,000 a year that I'm missing, and I'm struggling to pay the electric bill, I'm struggling to put food on the table, and I'm still doing the same work. I'm not only doing 63% of the work in a day, even though I'm being paid 63 cents on the dollar, you know, that my white male counterparts were making. So like if I had that money,
Yeah.
maybe I wouldn't have the issue.
True.
Plus also if our student loan debt,
Right.
if we could wipe that out, you know, like if we didn't have to carry that student loan debt, then that's money that could be put back into those households to help build those families, to build those communities.
Correct.
You know, so to me, there's so many different pieces.
Oh, and to be clear real quick, for
you, Mac, or before you say that, for you, what is, mine is the homeless situation. For you, what does that look like for a white guy?
For me, the probably that's nightlife. It probably doesn't look like majority of white guys in St. Louis, because majority of white guys, my fundamental problem with the entirety of St. Louis ties into the mindset of
White money.
St. Louis versus St. Louis. And that to me is founded in how everybody, including a lot of marginalized individuals, operate as if every single thing in this entire city isn't founded in systemic racism and the intention, the idea of attack on black people.
All right. Like that ain't a thing.
No, like every single thing is rooted in it. I mean, not just redlining and white flight, but why the nicest neighborhoods in downtown St. Louis are never impacted by anything around them, because it's a super powerful white man's club that all the way up through the North County, the North County divide, like we talked about, and the mini prison industrial complex that traps all these young black men just off of speeding tickets, dime bags, and all that. Yeah, all the intentionality in hidden club behind the scenes stuff that has kept these mini mayors and mini sheriffs the only white people left in Veneta Park. Right, she left it. It's like, we're going to keep it's one mansion left in here. We're going to keep that in the family. He can be the mayor. It's all, and I think, Pruitt-Igoe, that's a terrorist attack. There was one nonstop terrorist that you're out of a bunch of black people and then just inflicted terrorism. Well, that's why I'm working on my master's in social work, and closely completing it was so that we can, me and Abe had such similar experiences, with the U City and Klein Lawn and that whole culture for that 20 years around, not just Nelly the Ticks, but that's a good way to, show the time out. But that's kind of what connected us, was this, I think we have the luxury of operating from a place of cool. And in my experience, I can be much more impactful and legitimate and fully ethical and fully equitable ways that are truly impactful by leveraging that network and leveraging that privilege. But without the MSW, it's just me popping off a lot. But now I can, go find the LCSW. So whenever we want to do something super fucking turn, it doesn't have to, none of the integrity of how cool it is has to be disrupted by the impact.
Yeah.
Because we brought the impact after.
Word.
We
But
set
for
it
you,
up.
so for you, it's just the fact that
Systemic racism.
systemic racism is terrible. Yeah, that's crazy, dog.
Absolutely. I think that is like
Yeah, that's crazy.
core of so much of it. That is just the core.
I mean, yeah,
So and
that's what it is.
the policy violence. It's policy violence that they're able to use, against us. Yeah, absolutely.
Even just deseg, because St. Louis, where'd you go to high school is
So
let me figure out, let me set my boundaries correctly. I will write a dissertation on it.
Right. That is, tell me in just a couple words your socioeconomic status and your background and your upbringing and all that. Just by what high school did you go? And especially if you were deseg, because when you say I went to Parkway, when you say I went to some of these schools, and people are like, but you live, so they automatically know it.
Well, all black in most of the all black schools or majority black schools, and not just in the city but anywhere, there wasn't necessarily any rhyme or reason to where you went to school in non-DSEC schools, because if your grandma lived in U City, you might go to U City for 1 year because you're not staying with your mom then, or so it was definitely more of a white communication thing. And so because of that, starting at U City and then any other school that had a large population of black people naturally just was like, oh, you went to a black school. But then it was like, if you went to Melver versus Oakville, like you were the more rednecky Suffolk County person, that you were.
I still feel like that. You do.
Yeah, for sure. Totally.
I drive there all the time.
There's a lot of those, like kids figuring out between Parkway Central being more Jewish kids and Parkway North is closer to U City. So and you're absolutely right. It's just so they can figure out how to establish like where you are in their hierarchical existence.
Respect.
Yeah.
So Cori, you about to well, you in it.
I'm in it.
Yeah, you in it.
I'm in it.
What does that look like? I mean, what's the time frame?
Yeah.
What do we need to connect with you? How do we need to connect with you? What do you need from the community? Next person respond. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
It's podcast.
That's right.
This podcast is gonna alert everybody. The hood podcast is gonna alert the world of what Cori Bush need from y'all and how to connect with her so we can get it done. And I'm gonna say one thing right now, right here, right now. Hey, Wesley Bell, we off you until you come sit down at this podcast and explain yourself, partner. Real talk. You out of pocket. Wesley Bell, you got to pull up. So I'm off you. I don't know how many, they going to drop it in the comments, how many other people off you, but you got to explain your situation, bro. Because nothing you did is peak. And, we got to figure that out, bro. Because if you from St. Louis and you know how hard we fight, that wasn't it.
That was nice.
And that ain't been it. So we got to figure that out. But you got to come explain yourself somewhere. If it ain't this podcast, it got to be somewhere else. But you got to pull up, bro. Straight up. But, but back to Cori Bush, the fight. What we doing?
Yeah. So first, thank you for saying that, because what I need people to know is the stuff that you saw on those ads, the stuff that you heard.
Paid actors.
Yeah, so many paid actors, and also just misinformation and disinformation, just done on purpose to deceive the people of St. Louis. How do you want to represent the people? How you want to serve the people when you first want to rather deceive them?
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, I don't mind somebody running against me. I grew up in politics. I know how that goes. I don't mind somebody running against me. But you claim to be a friend, and then you ran against me, and you use lies and all of this stuff. You came for my family. You came for my name and my reputation, when you could have just ran on what you want to do. Like, you could have just been truthful about it. You could have just, you know, had some integrity about it. But instead, so anyway, so what I need people to do.
Yeah, you feel me? Because we don't even move like that in St. Louis. And we ain't going to keep on rapping about it. You know what you did, bro.
Okay.
We going to get to them polls. We going to raise this campaign money. And we going to get Cori back in that seat. That's what we going to do.
That's right.
Even if you don't pull up and explain yourself or none of that, you was out of pocket. So Cori going to tell us what we need to do. And, you know, how we need to donate, where we can find her, what she need us to do. And that's what we going to do.
Yes. So you can go to my website, coribush.org. It's CORIBUSH.org. There's a sign up where you can sign up to volunteer. If you sign up to volunteer, we'll get back to you and let you know where we need you. We'll find out from you what you want to do. So don't worry about it if you've never volunteered for a campaign before. We will work with you. We just would love to have you. I need you to tell a friend. I need you to tell some friends. I need you to let people know that we're running, and I need y'all to register to vote. If you're not registered to vote, we got to get you registered to vote.
Right.
You know, like, it's important, y'all. And the reason why people tell you it's not important to vote, that your vote does not count, is because it matters that much. That's why they would rather you not vote. My father won a whole election with, like, I think it was like 5 votes, literally.
No.
So it really, really fine.
In the small
It- it-
battery,
it-
that's what happens. I like that part. We talking about Congress.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, that's different. We didn't register to vote.
There are more people willing to register to vote against their own self-interest out of hatred than there are individuals like us who are willing to register to vote to impact change.
Cori, is your office still downtown, or where's your campaign office going to be, your headquarters?
Yeah, so my campaign headquarters was at North Oaks, but it was a part of a fire. So
okay.
so we are not there anymore. So right now we're still looking for a place to put our campaign office. Our former congressional office was downtown. Like, the signs are still up, so it's like we're still there.
Yeah, so she's not there, y'all. So she's going to stay in tune. So you have to find out where her campaign headquarters is going to be. But it's not downtown anymore.
Yeah, it's not downtown, but we're on all social media at Cori Bush, and then also, you know, the website coribush.org is where you can find us. You can donate, and look, if you want to donate, you don't have to donate big money. You can donate $5, $10. You can make a decision to donate $5 a month. Like, it's just, you know, every bit counts
For sure.
when it's a grassroots campaign.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anything you do in life, it takes not only a fight, but it takes money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't win without money. That's just the way of the world. So we got to be able to raise money to help with the fight. That's how I go. That's always what it is.
Let me ask you something, Kurt, the message to the people. Okay, so there are 2 things that you and I actually and Abe have deeply in common. And one is that the only thing greater than a setback is the comeback. Correct?
See, that's
Right. So yeah, for every 7, we're 8. Okay. Adversely, and unfortunately, the only thing that people like to see more than a rise to glory is a fell from grace. Correct? So in that spirit, what is the most impactful and important thing that you've learned from one of your biggest home runs, one of your biggest accomplishments? And we don't need to know any specific about what those are, okay? Just what you learned. And then secondly, you know, what's the most important lesson, the most impactful lesson that has come from, you know, one of your most important setbacks?
I know with the setback, you got to watch the snakes. I know that.
Yeah. One thing that I learned that was really impactful, of course, like you said, the snakes, because I was really surprised to see people that I had helped, like people that I had helped, like, but one thing that was really, really impactful was I saw how So I worked so hard for that seat. That seat was not given to me. I worked so hard for years to get there. I soaked in learning about Congress, learning about, just so much about Congress so I could be ready. And so when I lost the seat for this point in time, like it broke my heart.
Right.
Because I was like, but I worked for this and this person didn't work for it. I can't even, but anyway.
Right.
But as far down as I went with that, as much as I lost internationally,
Yeah.
heard about it across the world.
Yeah.
My comeback though,
Yeah.
the fact that I was able to get the vision back for what St. Louis needs and pull my heart together and see the need, which is why I was out there on the streets during the tornado. I could have went and hid, I could have went it, but if I came back out on the street and I'm going house to house, I'm going up in people's attics.
Shout out to
Ohan, absolutely. And all the orgs and everybody that showed up, just taking care of everybody.
Yeah.
That was, but like I could have just decided I'm done, because it was hard to have the St. Louis that I love make maybe feel like they turned their backs on me, even though I worked so hard and gave everything to them. But I didn't do that because the mission and what we're trying to do is so much bigger. So what I learned from that, what was most impactful for me was, like you say, they thought what they did was they thought that they could bury me.
Yeah.
They thought that they could smack me down to the dirt and then I will go away.
Yeah, that's.
But the thing is,
We're from St. Louis.
that's it. Already get to the dirt. I already been to the dirt. So when they knocked me down, all I did, the dirt was like, "Hey, Cori, what's up? We know you for sure." I was able to just get right back up, and so I'm stronger. I'm stronger than I was.
The average. I did for the fire.
Yeah, so everything that has happened to me in my life, that may have knocked me down, all it did was make me stronger. So now I'm coming back a bolder Cori, a better Cori, a smarter Cori, a stronger Cori. I'm coming back more of a fighter, and I will make back
What the youngsters say, you're on demon time.
And you make it a blip on the timeline. That's a really good one too. You get so active that you didn't never really even stop. So we didn't know if you took a week off for, your emotional well-being with your husband and kids. Like, we didn't know as far as we were concerned. Whenever I saw the cover of, what did I see the cover of with you standing in the middle of the street whenever you announced, was a really good shot. Was it St. Louis Magazine, maybe?
Oh, was it? I missed, oh, goodness.
Might have been St. Louis American, maybe.
That's what I was seeing. Maybe it wasn't even the cover. Maybe it was a cover photo for the article. Either way, it was very great. Like, all right, man, like, what, on to the next? Like, yeah, you're right. Like,
absolutely.
It was like, it wasn't, Cori Bush was our congresswoman, now she's not. It was, you're, like, the way you're defined in St. Louis is something different.
Definitely winning the seat in the first place was a huge success. But I'll say on top of that, children.
Yeah.
Children will come up to me, and sometimes they still do. And I mean, kids like coming up, grabbing me by the knee, kids, like little, and they're like, "You're Cori Bush, I know you," and it will just blow me away. Or even just like middle school, elementary, middle school, high school kids will stop me and say, like, "I learned about you in school," like, and that just, and I'm going to be like you when I grow up. And I will always tell them, don't be like me, be better than me, get there faster than me, do more than me. And I mean that, but so to me, like, that accomplishment right there, but then also, the bills that I wrote, like People's Response Act and all of that, which gives money to our caseworkers, our social workers, and our, but the eviction moratorium, going back to what you said about housing.
Yeah. Slept on the step.
But yeah, for 4 nights and 5 days, not knowing that we would win, but believing in my heart that we would. Because 11 million people around the country was at risk for getting evicted. And 7,000 people right here in St. Louis. Can you imagine 7,000 more people being house crazy? When we haven't fixed the problem there. So to me, I have had people come up to me saying, from around the country, but one in particular said to me, because I kept my home, I was able to keep my kids.
Yeah.
The state didn't take my kids from me.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget what you did for me when you did the owner steps.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Man, anything, man, Cori, you need from me, hey, whatever, straight up. Yeah, like I said, we talked offline. I just used to see you in the community. Every time you would pull up, I fan out, Cori Bush. And, I yell it and walk off. But I just know, just know what it feels like. You like I'm Michelle Obama type time. You know what I mean? Seeing you at Tashara under the arch taking photos, that was fire.
And that was,
You know what I mean? That was fire. That's a good feeling.
Kim Gardner, that was big.
With Kim Gardner. And I feel like that feeling ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, no.
You're going to, as you start campaigning, you're going to feel it. You know what I'm saying? You probably already feel it. It's probably them coming in like, yeah.
People have been, the response has.
Yeah, sometimes people, when stuff happens, we get in our own head. You know what I mean? And you think that the people that gave, people that kind of said, all right, and when people spend that type of money to sabotage your campaign,
Right.
I mean, it's propaganda. It's been going on for years.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's just what happened.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of lies told.
Yep.
And that's what happened. But we're going to get past that. We know what's going on. We know the real truth. So now it's just time to fight, get the votes, and get you back in that seat. One time for Cori Bush. We love you, we love you, Cori, straight up.
Love you back. Love you back.
Let's get it. Election date is what? When is election day?
Election day is August 4th, 2026.
August 4th, 2026. What the countdown? What we on? Where we counting down right now? Where we at, Woody, right now? We're in the first month? No, 2 months.
Month of what?
Campaign.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're the second month of the campaign.
Second month of the campaign. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on. Thanks for
for pulling up. No, by the way, you our first politician. Yeah. Tashara said she wasn't ready. Tashara, Cori beat you to the seat, baby.
Here at Bible Worldwide that Abe and I and Al are all about trying to help the youth lean into their value early on. Don't let anyone else tell them how not to, and then show them how to have access to leveraging that, And obviously we know that's a big part of your mission with stuff that you actually passed too. So where can an individual start in terms of the access to helping the mission that, you're leading? Yeah. If you want to answer, you can, but you already kind of did earlier. So I just wanted to make sure that I had at least that.
Well, I think the difference, so people can definitely connect with us and, work on our campaign and connect to the different issues. Somebody may want to just work on housing. Somebody might want to work on TS security or, the climate crisis and, just different issues, economic justice, women's rights, reproductive freedom, I'll say.
Right.
But also, there are so many great groups and organizations that
Just
in the work
get
absolutely get involved
Yeah,
in
get
thing. And the thing is that we think that we have to get to a certain status or a certain age to get involved. You don't. We just have to get active.
Yeah.
Get active, be active, stay active. And if you run up against connecting with a group or individual or campaign or whatever, and you feel like this ain't it, it doesn't mean that work isn't it for you. We just learned that maybe that particular spot, or it maybe just be a bad week.
Well, and
You
you can make it an essential experience in your resume, or you could say, I hated that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I work on campaigns, like I said, since I was 10. But that was a foundation for me. When it is time for me to run myself, I had so much just knowledge and a foundation I wouldn't have had I not experienced that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the answer. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. That's part of I started a organization called Politivist. It's the politician and the activist, because that's what I have.
Yeah.
I started, I'm no longer affiliated because I'm running for office, but the part of that work is a campaign called Movement for Freedom, and it does what you just said. It connects the dots, different organizations all across the country that are doing similar work that just they don't know, or they trying to get off the ground, and they're like, they don't realize that it's a group in this city that's doing a great work with, or just
that'll be a fire.
Yeah, and that's what they're creating. To the People's Response Act, there are, even though that bill has not passed Congress yet, but people took that bill and decided to build their own in different cities. So like all of this stuff is so people just need to know, because sometimes we get discouraged because, oh, this isn't taking off, or we don't have enough money. But then in another city, that thing is working. So we got to connect people so they know, how to make it thrive.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cori Bush, for Congresswoman. Baby,
Truly. Yeah. So St. Louis is an experience. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
love is love, baby girl. Till the next time, Cori Bush.